Chapter 7: The Secret City. After gathering information and setting a new course, the Hope headed towards the location marked on the ancient map provided by Ovos. It was a lost place, mentioned in records as the secret city said to be hidden deep within an asteroid belt. According to the legends, this city was initially built by an alien civilization that disappeared millennia ago. The journey to this location took several days. As James approached, he noticed the space around him growing denser and darker. Asteroids of various sizes and shapes filled the area, creating complex and dangerous navigation conditions. James activated all sensors and systems to avoid collisions with potential threats. When the Hope entered the asteroid belt, James began searching for the entrance to the secret city. Massive asteroids, covered in layers of cosmic dust and ice, concealed ancient ruins and possible entrances to underground structures. James used scanners and deep space sensors to explore the asteroid surfaces and locate potential entry points. Finally, his efforts paid off. In one of the large rocks, James discovered a hidden entrance, camouflaged as natural cracks and caves. He used special equipment to open the passage and carefully guided the ship into the asteroid's depths. Inside, James found a wide tunnel leading to a vast underground complex. The space resembled a gigantic cave with intricately carved walls and vaults illuminated by dim light from bioluminescent plants and self-charging energy sources. This underground world was covered in ancient symbols and drawings that told the story of a long-lost civilization. As he moved deeper into the tunnel, James noticed that signals from his navigation equipment began to weaken. The tunnel walls were lined with protective barriers that blocked electronic signals, making accurate navigation challenging. He relied on old maps and compasses to avoid getting lost in this labyrinth. Soon, James emerged into the complex's main square. It was an enormous space filled with ancient buildings and structures. In the center of the square stood a grand temple, its walls adorned with intricate engravings and mosaics depicting scenes from the alien civilization's life. James began inspecting the temple structures and engravings. He found several niches and altars filled with ancient artifacts and records. One of these artifacts was particularly intriguing: a crystal slab with inscriptions that appeared to be part of an ancient catalog or archive. Using his tools and knowledge, James attempted to decipher the inscriptions on the slab. He discovered references to engineering and transformation hinting at experiments with technologies and alterations that could be connected to his daughter. He also found mentions of the magistrate, a high-ranking scientific or governmental body that oversaw research and projects in this city. During his exploration, James encountered an unexpected obstacle. Suddenly, ancient defense systems activated, deploying automated drones and defense modules that began attacking him. These devices were designed to protect the treasures and technologies from intruders. James quickly activated his defense systems and used his skills and knowledge to counter the defense modules. He adapted his tactics to the type of threat and used the environment for cover and counterattacks. After a tense battle, James managed to disable the defense systems and continue his investigation. With the danger behind him, James returned to the slab and resumed deciphering it. He uncovered coordinates pointing to another point of interest in a different sector of the galaxy. These coordinates could lead him to another significant discovery related to the project and alien experiments. Gathering all the important data and artifacts, James left the secret city. His return to the Hope was cautious, as he knew that the dangers in the asteroid belt were far from over. He used all his skills and equipment to safely exit the underground complex and set course for the next destination. Every new discovery in this mysterious and ancient complex strengthened James' resolve. He knew that his search was bringing him closer to uncovering the mystery of his daughter's abduction, and he was ready to continue his journey, no matter the challenges and dangers ahead. Chapter 8: Dangerous Experiments. Setting a course for the new destination, James Reynolds left the asteroid belt and headed toward the sector indicated on the crystalline tablet. The Hope's navigation system pointed to a remote planet, surrounded by rings and located in a system known for its scientific and research complexes. The planet seemed like an ideal site for deep studies and potential experiments. Upon arriving in the planet's orbit, James noticed that its surface was covered with thick clouds and mysterious structures. He carefully guided the ship into the atmosphere and headed towards one of the large research complexes visible from space. The complex was a massive structure made of marble panels and metallic constructions, surrounded by numerous antenna arrays and defensive systems. Hope landed on one of the complex's platforms. As soon as James left the ship, he was met by high walls and massive gates, clearly designed to keep unwanted visitors out. His sensors detected that the complex's security system was active and required authorization for entry. Using the data he had gathered in the secret city, James attempted to bypass the security systems. He connected a special device he had prepared in advance to crack the security codes and gain entry. The process was challenging and required precision, but James was ready for such tasks. When the security system was successfully bypassed, James entered the complex. He found himself in a huge, well-lit corridor, with walls adorned with holographic displays and indicators. Laboratories and research zones were scattered around, most of which appeared abandoned and covered in dust. The complex seemed to have been deserted long ago, but not completely abandoned. After passing through several laboratories, James found one that looked more maintained and active. Inside were complex machines and devices, clearly used for conducting experiments. On the central table lay reports and records that James began to study carefully. Analyzing the documents, he discovered that the laboratory was part of a project focused on creating new life forms and enhancing existing biological structures. One of the documents mentioned the evolution project, which explored technologies for enhancing and modifying living beings. This could shed light on his daughter's fate. Additionally, one report described a special procedure for testing new life forms. The description included numerous technical details and biological data, which might be crucial in understanding the experiments that could have involved Lily. James also found several samples of biomaterials that were likely used in the experiments. Soon, he stumbled upon a container with unique symbols that matched those he had seen in the secret city. This confirmed a connection between this laboratory and other research complexes. However, his investigation was interrupted by the activation of the complex's system. James heard the sounds of defense mechanisms powering up and noticed that some of the laboratory machines began emitting alarm signals. This meant his presence had been detected. James quickly gathered all the materials he had found and prepared for an emergency exit. He used his knowledge and technology to find a safe route back to the Hope. Navigating through the labyrinth of corridors, he avoided security systems and automated drones that had started patrolling the area. Reaching his ship, James activated all systems and launched the engines. Hope quickly ascended, leaving the planet's orbit just as the complex's defense systems went into full operation. With a sigh of relief, he realized he was safe again. As he moved away from the planet, James reflected on the data and experiment results he had obtained. He knew these findings could be key to uncovering what had happened to his daughter, and that the evolution project might have had a direct connection to her abduction and subsequent fate. During the journey, James continued to study the samples and reports, analyzing the information and planning his next steps. He knew there was still much work and danger ahead, but each new discovery brought him closer to solving the mystery and reuniting with Lily.